Is it something that if I pulled it up on my computer that you'd be able to figure out?
Probably. Yeah, if you want to open up Google, I can log in under me and get in there.
Yep.
I'm actually looking for it on Facebook and there's so much on the community page right now that it's just taking me a minute to find it.
Sure.
It doesn't find it. All right. I'm gonna sign you out real quick. Oh, what? Holy cow. Logging into someone else's computer is like infuriating now because you gotta have like a million passcodes.
Oh, no
and,
kidding.
Like I'm at this point, I'm like, it's easier for me to just go through Facebook, to figure this out.
Okay.
Okay, use a passcode. Okay, confirm.
It's you, not them. Oh, sorry.
Try another way. Enter my password. Yes, please.
It doesn't bother me. It's gonna be, unless it's private stuff.
Meetings starting at 7:30. So
Oops. 913. Wow, look at that. All right, so forms. There we are. I've done a few of these.
Okay.
Wait, we've had 9 responses. Good. So this is the back end. If you wanna, you're welcome to just take a minute, look at it.
Okay. So 56% year round, or
Yeah.
57.
Yeah, and I'll eventually print that off for everyone and we can kind of,
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get more input. I was gonna try to repost it yesterday, and again, I thought maybe I could just share it again, but
I should be able to just include you up here and
Okay.
everybody who wants to be can have access to this, just like a Google folder.
okay, yes.
So if you'd like that, I can do that after we're
We-
done.
We sure do have a mix of,
I knew that was gonna be
yeah,
the full pizza.
yeah, campers and tents. Tents. And
Alright. Who is on the iPhone?
their car, 11.1% live in their car. And only 22% have an apartment.
You idiot.
But they got really low rent payments or costs, like $100 per month, 200 per month, 500 per month, 600 per month, 850 per month includes all utilities, 200 per week, depends on how much in there, 500 per month.
Yeah, some are just renting land. You know, some are renting
Okay.
just a room,
Yeah,
so it varies. You're gonna get all levels. Some are free.
yeah, only 11.1% of those people are their housing is provided by an island employer. 56% have to relocate each year. 44% want a modular home
Mm-hmm.
that could be owned by them. Or a mini home, 1 bedroom, bath owned by them. Only 22% are looking for a apartment, and that would be a 2 bedroom. Nobody has 1 bedroom apartment. %77% would be interested in a mini home or modular home that would be owned by them.
Mm-hmm.
They would be able to finance and place a dwelling unit. Hey, John,
Hello.
very interesting.
Yeah. Here, I'll add everyone really quick and then we can
Yeah.
be. Like I got 4 minutes. So,
Plenty of time.
yeah,
You're
right.
good. You're fast.
Use Gmail. Who do we have? Risha. Jim's he has a Yahoo, so he sometimes gets booted out. I feel bad, but he doesn't do Google well.
I tried emailing him just because to remind him about that cost list that he kind of said he would take on. But I don't know if he got that message or not.
I know he's been traveling. Okay, I have Lois, Keisha, Jim, Mark, who am I missing? Penalise. No, she's not on anything, so, all right, let's see. You guys can be.
Here.
See the back end. Cool. So John, you should have already had access to the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So it works. So there you go. Great. Mm-hmm. You had that up.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And Jackie, Noah.
Oh, Jackie, yeah, would you mind, here, sorry, if you can
Sure.
learn a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, add to the person with the plus and then just type in, yeah. And then, click the responder and then turn it to editor. And yep. There you go.
Super.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's Mark Pass.
Oh, is he?
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
So we've got 2 minutes.
This is the quietest my day has been.
Hmm?
This is the quietest my day has been. All day.
I can
It's
imagine.
like, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to go sit at that meeting today. Wow.
Oh,
Kids are a handful today.
Today's particularly, past few weeks have been challenging. For a number of things. So. Yeah,
is Lucy in the
will be, yeah, they start next week
okay.
or, yeah, next week. So yeah, they had their last day picnic today.
Oh.
So.
Hey, Michael.
Hello.
Oh, Michael.
Hello, everyone.
Glad you're here.
Oh, sorry, you're logged into me.
Good to be able to be here for a change.
Yeah, nice to see you. Do you know if Jackie will be here?
Haven't heard anything.
I haven't either.
I did not. Work.
Sam, I'm guessing that this moisture this week is gonna really make the mushrooms pop.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
It's
a
just
hike on
what they need.
Saturday.
heat, and then
Warm rain.
Okay, do we have a quorum? Three of us? Four? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
4, 5. Okay. Then I guess that. All right.
Do you have an agenda?
Mhm.
So many.
Okay, I will call the Affordable Housing meeting to order at 5:03, and I'm Lois Carlson.
Nielsen.
Sam Dobson.
Mark Pass.
Michael Kupta.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. We have no public here, so there is no public comment. Then the minutes from the last meeting, anybody have any additions or corrections? If not,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
A second.
been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, let's move on to the meat of our talk today, and that is our upcoming public forum on the 22nd. And actually just trying to get everything prepared for that experience.
and that'll be at the EMS Center,
Yes.
and that is June 22nd. Is if what day of the week?
It's a Monday,
Day. Okay.
and
And start
at
time.
5 o'clock,
We had 5:30.
5:30?
Mhm.
Okay,
It's okay. I've corrected it all across the board. So we're
Okay.
good.
okay.
So it's 5 or 5:30.
It's 5:30.
5:30,
5:30.
That was a suggestion by Keisha.
okay.
Okay.
Then, what I would like to do by the end of this meeting, let's come up with some sort of a format for an agenda for that. The day after our last meeting, I emailed Kelly Westland. I didn't hear back. I followed up with a phone call and a voicemail and asked for a call or a text back, and I heard nothing. So, I don't have a moderator.
Okay.
And I was just trying to think about, first of all, I wanted to ask Max, if we needed to follow any protocol for who would be the moderator. Like since Penelise apparently has done work with nonprofits, would she be an appropriate person? She's not part of the committee, but she's sat in on committee meetings.
Yeah, that's fine. I think, I mean, you still have, if there's a quorum, you have to call the meeting to order. You would have to call the meeting to order. And you could turn those to the moderator.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Jim. Yeah.
Is it going to be a official meeting or? Yeah,
We'll notice it as.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's possible, it doesn't have to be, but just to be on the safe side, we'll notice it as an official meeting. And she will call it to order if you're gonna have a quorum, just to be safe.
okay. There's no agenda, no business to be conducted, that it will be,
Nothing will be determined or voted on in this meeting, and that's usually said on the front end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's, for informational and input purposes
Mhm.
only.
Mhm.
And then, I think the first thing maybe, well, I don't know if it would be reviewing the information that we got back and reviewing what we've completed in terms of,
Mhm.
the past documentation and then the updated, survey and, any,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think if there's anything from, old documentation or documents that should be, and that we should have copies of available for people to read or see at all.
I think there's a number of examples that will be really beneficial for folks to get a visual, and that's this was helpful when I came on, and it was those mock-ups of what 15 units would look like. And then there was some, like all the examples of the modulars of all the companies. There were really good photos for everyone that just really illustrated kind of the differences. And it kind of,
Have that information available.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and the EMS should have, they have a screen that we can hook up to. So we can talk about who brings a computer, we can log in and like go before and get it all set up so that we have that Google folder open and people can actually just see.
So are you thinking of a presentation of some sort to go over?
Well, that was one of my questions too, is kind of establishing the rules in the beginning of kind of how do we want that format? So like, will there be public comment throughout? Will there be kind of a section for public comment?
Well, I think there absolutely has to be
Mhm.
public comment, but
Mhm.
maybe just setting it up to begin with.
Kind of overview in the
yeah,
front end.
right.
We're gonna do a little bit of talking here and then
Yep,
next, number 2, we'll get into a more open discussion kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm sure there'll be a fair amount of venting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the photos of possible
Yeah, we could make a short list of those, like, I'd be happy to put it into like a little, not a PowerPoint, but like, these are the 5 pictures that I came across that I think are really good. So, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
Unless someone else wants to get in there and dig.
Okay, then the next thing I think we have to talk about is just the funding, because that's the big sticking point on everything. Correct?
Mhm.
So, question,
Yep. Go ahead, Mark.
so I'm wondering if, before we get too deep into this, if we, come to agreement about what we are hoping to or expecting to, get out of this meeting.
Well, I think, have you looked at the survey that we posted online?
I've seen it. I haven't seen the results. I heard you talking about them earlier. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but you know, we are, we have we've had a survey done a few years ago, and we're going to update that now, which I think is quite appropriate. We have had a number of possibilities suggested to us or run by us about different ways to construct housing. But we are holding this meeting, so shouldn't we go into it with expectations of some goals? Should we have them written down and agreed to, and use that to help us decide how to lay this meeting out?
I think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
I totally agree, Mark, and my goal would be to just find out what it is that the public is looking for. That's before we can act on anything or even make suggestions, we should probably know what it is that
Mhm.
our constituents are looking for.
Well, I also think, I mean, everything we've talked about comes back to the money is the sticking point for making this happen. And Michael, that's where, you've mentioned some past or some programs that may be available to us. And I know Penalise has worked with different programs. But I'm not exactly certain how, other than holding the hat out, how we go along to get the down payment to make something actually get off the ground.
I think Michael too, that hasn't been mentioned is just bringing awareness to the public in a concise way. So that they understand what we're working on and the depth of it. And then two, it helps lay that foundation for fundraising. Cause then there's this base knowledge that exists with everyone, and you're building that support with awareness, really.
Yeah, because if they weren't aware of the fact of the difficulties of trying to find funding, what we've discovered so far, and the fact is that we're just so small and remotely located. We're not getting any action from typical funding companies or building contractors, things like that are all really difficult to work with. But you did bring us the information on the TIF. I did find that the city of Burlington, Wisconsin, just recently did a really nice, very simple, easy to understand, one-page description of describe TIF districts and how they work.
Mhm.
So I'll give this to you, Ralph, if you want to, they can
I'll take it.
put it on out or on our letterhead or whatever. I'm sure it's not copyrighted.
I mean, so again, from my perspective, I think if we're trying to give people a concise view of where we are, I mean, separate from trying to uncover through the survey and through direct interaction of what needs to work for the people who live here. It's basically, we've done a lot of background work. We have a sense of what is not possible. We have a sense of what might be possible. But we can't get a developer to commit to working on the island. And so we're going to have to figure out how to self-develop in some respect. I mean, this is my opinion, but and as a result of that, as a developer, we are going to have to chase financing. We are going to have to figure out, how to utilize conventional bank or whatever financing, federal funding, especially for infrastructure that might be possible through WIDA, and then perhaps utilizing TIF, which is, it's public financing through utilizing the enhanced value of the properties to pay the initial investment. But we need someone to make the initial investment, and whether that's a combination of state funding, whether we're able to get any other grants, we still need, I believe, to investigate, does the town have any capacity or willingness to borrow for some of the upfront costs, knowing that it can be paid back through revenue generated by the project and through TIF increments. I mean, those are the really fundamental things that need to happen. And so, we don't really know how to start or where to start because there's so many pieces that have to fall in place. We know what those pieces are, but as multiple members of you have said, financing is the problem. You can't get too far without money. And the way people describe it, a project like this is going to take lasagna of financing, multiple layers of different sources of money from different people. And again, I know it's been kind of a wish list of this committee, but there is a belief that, there is equity or people with equity on the island who might be able to or might be willing to take a lower return on investment to benefit the community as a large. And who those people are, we've never really figured out who they are or how to get to them. But I think that should be something that's thrown out at this public meeting, because you don't know who knows who. You don't know, a worker may be working for one of these people and may be able to drop that conversation in, right?
Yeah.
So
I think I'm
that's
really
kind of my
hopeful.
summary of what we should, a part of what we need to put forth.
I would totally agree with that. My hope is to get the people in the room that we want to have these conversations with, that we've been mentioning on all these levels, that hopefully these are the people that come and.
Well, I think we need to maybe invite specifically like Bob Hartzell and Jay And who else would be major employers, you know, the museum.
Grant
But
Petroleum.
Maddie's gonna come, Grant Petronis.
So just really, we as a committee, be out in the community asking individuals and businesses to come that we
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
Yeah,
have value.
Yeah.
To the conversation.
yes,
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders.
But certainly businesses are the most direct stakeholders. But again,
Yeah,
looking at it from an investment perspective,
yeah.
people on the island who, have portfolios that they want to diversify. And would they be willing to take a long-term, relatively low return probably, but nonetheless to invest in the future of the place that they love and are part of for so long?
Over all of the years and iterations that we have gone through, it has always come back to this.
Uh-huh.
It is always about the money. We have, a year ago, we went to that gathering of developers and communities. And we met with, I don't know, John, 20, maybe?
Yes.
15 or 20 developers. And we got nowhere with anybody, and it kind of boiled down to just like Michael mentioned, we're not big enough and we're too remote. And it's just for a developer, it's too much work for not enough upside. And that's understandable. So it feels to me like if we are going to get this off the ground, we're going to have to find financing in the community, support from the community, whether it's the town or the citizens or some combination of them, before we can go anywhere. I mean, we can ask all the questions that we want, and we can interview everybody, but eventually it's going to come down to figuring out if the community wants this as bad as we think we do. And I was overhearing while the meeting was getting ready to start, Lois, I was hearing you guys talking about, or Lois and Sam talking about the survey and the what people preferred and how much money they could afford, and the amounts of money that people were suggesting didn't seem to be anything that could fly.
yeah. Well, and again, I encourage everybody, Sam has updated the Google page as we were sitting here. And you can look at those responses. So far, we've gotten 9 responses, which is pretty good. And I think, we'll just continue to post that survey at least a couple more times. Plus, I keep meaning to stop in here to get a folder from Dorjean to create something, a file folder or something, so we can have an envelope and put it at the post office. And hopefully reach more people that way. But
I printed out a whole bunch of them as well, and I just carry them with me, and
oh, great.
I just, when I'm in the bars, I'll just, to the survey, so this is really important information for us. If you'd be so kind as just fill it out, either give it back to me, email it to me, text it, take a picture,
Yeah.
whatever, just, it's confidential, we just would like to have the information.
Right. But I understand what you're saying, Mark, and that's a big hurdle to figure out how to make things work, but we'll keep moving forward. Okay, so and I think I think that we should talk maybe just a brief amount about the comprehensive plan. And I think that affordable housing has somewhat been addressed there, or housing.
In
In the comp
Yeah,
plan.
Max put together,
Oh.
a little packet that has what is highlighted. It's not included.
Oh, okay.
So we can have, there it is, something like this
Okay.
highlights it.
Okay.
But it's pretty clear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's from that,
it talks about the survey. It talks about how many housing units, talks about who would utilize them. A little bit about the median incomes and whatnot, so where the target market is.
okay. Okay, then, funding mechanisms, we've somewhat discussed. Jim, did you get we talked last month about a cost sheet and,
I've got, the only thing I have is a document from Charlie when he was on the board. It was last year. He just brought this over and I could not find it on the Google Drive. But he did some questioning, of costs and things like that on here. So I've only got my copy. I could not find it. It's not printed in the minutes. It was handed out by Charlie at a meeting. So if these can want to be scanned or whatever, or if we can get the original from Charlie or something, it's just something he wrote up and brought to the meeting. But he had done some research before then that asked about costs. Concrete, $25 a foot rough, 36.6 square foot polished, 46.66 square foot with heating coils per Jake Dobson. Well, if less than 6 units, then it does not have to be a high capacity or public well. You can add additional units as the number of units increases. Site preparation for 6 lots is approximately $33,000 per lot. Septic can be run from the mainland, from the manhole behind the EMS building. It required 2 additional manholes. Contact SCH, and he gave Jeremiah Wendt as the contact person there. And then he had other questions about, who's going to manage, if it's rentals, who's going to manage it, funding, government loans, USDA, public philanthropy, so it was a good recap of just questions. Now, this was, over a year old. So as you know, like in concrete, it's probably changed a little bit.
Twice.
Just for the record, if I heard you correctly, John, the sewer connection would actually be to the sanitary system. It wouldn't be a septic.
That is correct.
Okay.
okay, so, I'm trying to think of how to get, a somewhat clean and or updated.
I think if you address that, these numbers are from 24 months ago,
Okay,
12 to 24 months ago.
so it's gonna be a ballpark, and I guess
Yeah.
my other question would be, because I don't know, is this something that we would include in the building of the project? And then if the project is built, and if units were going to be sold, the price, the price of the unit would have that built into the initial cost?
I think that's one of the questions that we've always had here is how do we price a lot? If you include those items in there, when I did first just on pencil, it became too expensive. When you added all of those
Yeah.
infrastructure costs in there, then it was not affordable for the people that we're trying to reach.
Yeah.
So it was going back to, again, when this TIF opportunity came into play, that the improvements could be done possibly by a TIF funding program. And perhaps it's a rent to own system. maybe it's a lease on the improved property, and you put your house on that leased property. You don't own the property, but you own the improvement on it. There's lots of ways you can look at it.
Mhm.
Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what John just described is essentially a land trust type arrangement, which is again more formal. But right, I mean, the challenge is you would hope, you would have to, in some level, have to build the costs into the rental rate or the um, sales price. Obviously, so the goal has always been to minimize that. So we get the land for free from the city. That's one hurdle that a lot of communities don't, a lot of communities do have to wrestle with. If we were able to get state funding for infrastructure development, it wouldn't pay for all the infrastructure development, but it would pay for some of the more public oriented ones. So you'd probably be able to get the well out of it. You'd probably be able to get, whatever street or driveway, you'd get the sewer connections, those kind of things. So again, you could reduce the cost to the renter or owner. But at some point, right, there's revenue being generated by the property that helps pay it back. There's perhaps TIF financing that helps pay it back. There's perhaps reduction in costs through state grants. So those are the kind of things that we've never really gotten to the point where we've done a pro forma. And, I always wondered if that's something we could find someone to do for us. A developer or lenders aren't really interested in doing our project, but I'm wondering if we get a pro bono pro forma from them. That would really help explain the level of costs and how they might be repaid. I know, John, we talked, it sounded like we had that one developer was going to do that for us and they disappeared.
Yeah, they disappeared. Yeah. It was probably on like the third row of the Excel spreadsheet. They go, this isn't gonna work. Not for us anyway, not for profit.
I'm wondering if, I don't know, if people remember Tom Martin that lived on the island who used to build nursing home properties throughout the country.
Mhm.
And he still has an interest in what happens here, even if they don't live here. I wonder if that's the kind of thing that he might be able to help us put together.
I would think he would be a great guy to at least talk with. If he can't do it, he could find someone who could, because he's got to have that knowledge and experience.
Yeah. Okay. I will give Tom
Lois,
a call.
Lois, do you know him well enough to have that conversation with him?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Yep. I will get a hold of him, in the next 24 hours.
Wonderful.
Okay, and then the moderator, as I can't remember, were we talking about this before? Did we cover this in the meeting? That, the moderator that I initially approached didn't call me back at all.
Mhm. Yeah, you said that right away.
So, I need to find someone to actually, after we do a representation from the group, then there should be someone that moderates the questions, I think. Or does it matter if they're from the group?
Didn't you say Penelise was someone
Well,
you were
that was
interested?
who I'm thinking of asking, and if that would be, I was hoping that maybe she would either join the meeting tonight or be here, but,
I think that's my only concern.
Yeah.
Is her availability.
well, I'll try and reach her right away too. If that, people are fine with that, as a possibility, I'll try her next to see if she could help us in this.
Do we have a plan B?
No,
We should have a plan B.
yes,
Lois, have you ever had conversations with Kelly Westland?
that's who I called, Well, I initially sent her an email, she didn't
Yeah, okay.
respond, and I called. And then, she didn't return my call or text, which I asked if she could do one or the other.
So you,
And I never heard anything from her.
do you have any history with her at all?
I met her about probably 15 years ago, so I don't even know that
Okay.
she would remember who I am.
Jim Peters, are you here?
Yes, he is.
More or
And-
less.
Does Jim know about her? I think, Jim, did you have contact with her, Jim?
A little bit, Mark. She probably has no idea who I am. I don't know that she would take the time to come up here and do something like this. She's
Okay,
pretty involved with the whole state and what she
Right.
does. I would be surprised I'm not surprised that you didn't hear back from her.
Mhm.
So
Is the other Kelly from UW Extension still around?
I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
I can't remember her last name, but
Yeah.
she was part of the whole Schwamigan Bay initiative, or pilot project, whatever you wanted to call it. And so she's very familiar with the island and what we're trying to do here. And she's part of UW Extension, so she's used to being in front of public and that kind of thing. And if you could, she's in Washburn, so she should be able to be found pretty easily. She might be an option if none of your other higher listed people could come through.
Okay.
do you remember how to contact her?
You know, Max, there's probably a phone list somewhere that has her on it, but she's through UW Extension, so she shouldn't be that hard to find out of Bayfield County UW Extension.
Also, I'll look through some of the stuff I had from those meetings and see if I can find some contact information. We will let you know.
Okay. That would be great. And then, I'll just try to get all this information condensed and then, come down here and see if Georgine, if we can, or I can run off packets of handouts or,
Question. So you're gonna Zoom this, right, too? It'll be
Yeah.
a Zoom. And so, we'll just do a screen sharing. If you have something you want to.
Okay.
put up, we'll just. screen
do
share.
that. And do they have the Zoom capability at the
They're very nice.
EMS?
Yeah.
It's better than this.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. And actually, that was the other question, because I haven't talked to, Jay, who's the fire chief. I'm not sure who's the person I would need to talk to clear that.
I sent an email to Sarah and, Tom Rosberg, the police chief, saying that we needed access
Okay,
on June 22nd, 5 o'clock. And then, but I don't know who knows how to run Zoom. I doubt that so we have to, I'll figure that out.
okay. Very good.
I'm
Is there
looking
any,
at the UW Extension site and I don't see Kelly listed. They have someone else listed named Ryan Hogan. His number is 715-373-3287.
okay, hopefully we can get one of these folks, to help us out in facilitating the discussion. And, is there anything else that the group feels we should be including in the agenda for the 22nd?
Well, one thing I keep kind of coming back to, I mean, this committee's been meeting for, I don't know, 5, 6 years. It's been a long time. And we keep coming up against the obstacle of the amount of money it's going to require to do something. I mean, it's a pretty huge sum. And I'm wondering if we're really attacking this from the right direction. If we should, whatever we do, we're gonna need some funding. And so if we had a couple $1 million, that would be nice. We could build something. If we had $200,000, we couldn't build anything. But we could assist people in getting things going. There's a lot of people out here that would like to stay here. They might have already purchased a piece of land. You go to a bank and they're not going to give you a loan to get your sewer in and get your water and get your all the utilities to get started. And I'm wondering if, when we have this meeting, if we should mention something like that. Would this be a better fit for people to have funds available for them to get started on building?
Well, that's what I originally came to this group with. I mean, really, was that idea, because I was talking with community members and they were like, I can't get a traditional loan and I just need $50,000 to dig a well and lay a foundation and some plumbing. And I mean,
Yeah,
and I come back to that all the time. I think that is exactly where we can have the most impact. That's also why I hope to have some of those people in this room so we can have this overview, this conversation. They can truly understand the complication of the finances and that, you know, these are the solutions we've come up with. And like, do we have buy-in from you? Because we saw the number that they're paying right now and it's really, really low. And, you know, if we're going to go to all this work, we need to know that these people are capable and they got grit for it. So.
And one of the realities of
Yeah.
providing the infrastructure is the protection, the collateral to the person
Yeah.
or the entity that is granting those funds. If there's a default, what do you take back? You know, how do you?
you get your concrete back up.
Yeah, you get your
Yeah.
concrete back out, you can pull your well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the issue on there. And I hope that people understand that is that, you know, and there's nobody that's going to give, not even governments do it. You don't just give money away and say, oh yeah, you just do that. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, you know, so what?
Yeah. So, but the question is, how do we structure something like that? I mean, that was what I came with. That was my big question is, what does something like that look like? You know, how do we facilitate something like that? And Michael had thrown out a couple, again, like federal, state programs and loan programs. And I totally agree that should be
Well, yeah,
a piece of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I also have a hard time understanding how we would get this built without the person living in there having some kind of buy-in on the front end.
Yeah.
You know, and how do we help?
I don't know. And in answer to, you know, how do you protect that investment from the first level lender? I don't know if it's even possible or if it's legal in there, but they would need to have first claim to that property. Number one, okay, that if there's default, the property and improvements, you know, whatever it takes to get that money back is going to have to be that actually taken. And it means foreclosure, sheriff's sale, auction, just, you know, I mean, that's the reality of nobody's going to give you money without handling the risk involved in that. The higher you are as a risk, the more they're going to want to protect that, either with higher rates or with really, really secure methods of getting that money back out if it fails.
so I think if we include this in the discussion on the 22nd to get people's input on how they feel about that. So if it's something that a lot of people are really interested in, I think we can work out the details.
I think so
down the
too.
road. I mean,
Mhm.
like you say, there's ways to protect your investments
Yep.
and such. So, but the big thing is just see how people feel about that. If we hear that, yeah, I need a loan more than I need anything else to get going, to get started. I mean, my son has already approached me. He wants to build a garage, but he's got to get a slab in first. So he wants me to help finance the slab so he can get going on building, you know, and I mean, it's very common. I mean, I think there's a lot of people
Mhm.
on the island just need help to get started. And then they can get going in building and I think we can figure out the finances, the protection, everything down the road.
And that's the
If
thing,
that's what they want.
well, we've talked about this as like a, just throwing a number, 15 units, kind of an all at once thing, you know. How does it look if we were to work with individuals? And this is a lot, this is a unit, and then like, this is your claim to it, and we're gonna work with you, and we kind of just work down the row with people individually. Like, I mean, is that possible? Is it,
That was kind of I was thinking along those same lines, that I think jumping in.
I know it's non-traditional,
No,
like,
I-
I know this is like, but I
Um,
can't imagine any other way to get it done.
yeah,
So if it's on town land, there's no collateral there for someone to build. So how do you finance it? How do you,
oh, that's a good point.
you know,
Well, and I think,
again, that would require the person to come up with the money to start the building, or else we'd have to somehow form some sort of entity that could finance it and then get it paid back through. And that's not, I don't have any idea how to do that.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be.
the closest that we've had to doing that here in this community and many others would be like the leases with improvements at the airport, where the town owns the land and continues to own the land.
Right.
They made the improvements to it. They put in, they, you know, leveled it and made it building ready and brought utilities in. And then you lease those parcels with very strict guidelines of what you can do with that parcel. You don't ever own the land under the building, but you own your,
Who built the structure?
you did.
Oh, if you wanted to. Okay, but so there's hangar leases out there?
Mhm.
So who built the hangar?
The person who leased the land.
Oh, and if they go to somebody else, what happens?
What do you mean if
Well-
they, like in 20 years, I move away? Like say for instance, right now, if there's a lot available, if I want to build a hangar, I simply lease a lot from the town. It's a long-term lease to the lot. And then I present a plan for a hangar that a building that I'm gonna put on that. And if it's approved, I build that at my cost. And that's mine, those improvements are mine. And when the lease expires, or if I choose not to, yeah, for whatever reason, when the lease expires, that building is still mine. I can pick it up and move it away. The land and the improvements, however, the land will always be the town's, always.
So you could sell that building.
The building, which Gene just did. Gene sold his hangar last year to
To someone else and
someone else.
to work out a lease with the town.
Yeah.
to Keep it there.
Yep, that's it. That's all he had to do. And Gene, you know, he sold it for a lot more than what he built it for many years back. So, you know, there was a return on his investment. And the town continued to get income for all the months that the hangar was and still is on that piece of property.
Right. Well, I guess that's an option I hadn't even thought about that. So yeah, if a person can't afford the property, that the town could lease them a lot in that section. And hopefully through that, what is it?
The TIF.
and that would work, I would think, better with like a tiny home. Because that would be on wheels if they wanted to,
Or just a small home.
Yes,
Like a
small home.
1 bedroom,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, those 6 condos that are owned by Hartzell, the tall ones along the back edge of the swamp and the small, those were relocated there when, just after they were built. It turns out they're in a wrong location and they just picked them up and moved them all to where they are now.
okay.
I mean, there's a lot of really good building movers here on the island.
So I guess these are options that we need to present to the people that are come to this meeting to see what they're interested in doing.
And mobile home parks use this concept for 100 years. This is not new. You know, a mobile home park, you don't own the lot that your trailer's on. You know, that's whoever owns that property owns that, and they give you a lease, and you can put your home on it, and you pay for for that, and you can move it off when you want, but
The big draw there is all of the infrastructure is
in place.
All
Yes.
Do is be concerned with the building itself.
So we could easily get examples from that type of entity
Yeah,
as a general concept.
well, it seems more and more that this meeting makes a lot of sense that I know what the public really wants, you know, and if we could come up with these different options for them to look at and go from there, maybe.
I agree.
Mark, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I'm just listening and enjoying the conversation.
Okay, I thought I heard you talk before and I wanted to make sure that if you had something to say.
No, I did not. The if we make a lot of suggestions of a wide array of possibilities, people kind of hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And so if there are 20 people at the meeting, we might have 20 people that have a different item as number one on their wish list. And if it turns out that only one or two of those possibilities are really possible, then we have 18 or 19 people who are disappointed. So I think we have to be a little bit careful when we throw ideas out. If we haven't haven't done our homework well enough to know if they are feasible, I don't know if we will create anything but ill will.
Yes, I agree.
I sense that people may be looking for our guidance rather than just as much as we are looking for their input. And by now they're probably thinking that we are the experts, which probably is not true. But they are looking to us to help them resolve something that is plaguing their life. And so I think we need to be a little bit careful of how many ideas we float. And I don't know which ones, at this point, I don't know how we decide which ones are floatable or not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to put together, sift together this information in the next 2 to 3 days, so I can come up with a more accurate agenda, and I'll send that out to everybody or put it on the Google page.
Good.
And then I plead for input from everybody here. And so at least we'll have a framework of information to discuss that we're all comfortable with.
One of the things, that my personal experience is this seems to work well with this types of meetings. It's a brainstorming meeting is really what we're looking for. Okay.
Yeah.
To make sure that those that are involved feel as though that their input is being recorded, whether it's big whiteboard or easel paper and pens, but all the ideas should be thrown out there. Throw anything you want against the wall. Okay. Some of it may stick. Most of it probably will not, but at least everybody has the opportunity to see that their input was acknowledged and recorded. And then we can go from there. you know, we can do further exploration. I think the main thing is for everyone to understand, we don't have the answers.
Mhm.
We don't, we really don't. We don't even know exactly what the needs are yet. And that's why we're hosting the meeting. To find out what the needs are first. What are the desires? And some of those desires, you know, the bottom line is that we always need to remind folks too, this may not be obtainable. We might not be able to do anything because ask is too great. We don't know. We need to find out what the ask is first.
John, I like your whiteboard idea.
You wouldn't be able to read my writing.
Is there one available? Does the town have that big a whiteboard that we could get up there?
First of all, the Zoom is recorded, so everything that anybody says is recorded. But if you need they've got a whiteboard on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
We think,
well, John, to your point, I think, you know, if people can see that it is actually being listened to and recorded right in front of them, that might help them feel like their concerns are being listened to and heard.
Yep. So let's use the whiteboard that's there. Somebody's got legible handwriting and just, you know, throw up quick ideas that as they come forth on there. That would give me personally, if I was there as an attendant, it'd give me really good, warm and fuzzy feeling. So.
yeah. I think that's very helpful. Okay, any other comments regarding the upcoming?
I will need to double check. I have eye surgery. It's either next Monday or the 22nd Monday. I don't remember which. The papers are back at home, so
Yeah.
I will hope that it's next week and not the 22nd.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because I
Okay.
really, really want to make the meeting.
Yeah.
So.
You can join in on Zoom.
Maybe. I might not be able to see it really well, but.
I don't think you need to see, you need to talk. Okay, is there any other new business? Okay, if not, I think we've gotten our discussion ready for the evening. And I will adjourn the meeting.
What's that for next meeting? The 20, we won't be able to do it at the 22nd, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So the next thing, thank you. So is it July 9th or the 16th? Can we do the 16th or does it have to be the 9th?
What date?
I'm asking, I prefer the 16th if we could do that.
Is that a Thursday?
Yep.
Right now, there's nothing scheduled in.
Okay. We'll schedule the next meeting then for Thursday, July 16th
Okay. 5 PM here.
at 5 PM.
Perfect.
I appreciate everybody and your input tonight. And the meeting is adjourned at 5:54. Thank you.
Good night, all.
Bye.
Thanks, Michael.
Did you want to make copies of these next? And why don't you make one for Sam and one for Sam too? So if you then